Hello everyone, welcome back in another video. I am Vaibhav, and in our today's video topic, we are going to see static keyword used in Java. Today's date is 4th of August 2022. So let's move toward our topic, that is static keyword. So static keyword is nothing but that the keyword as we like we use in a coding time, that is like a new keyword, void keywords. That means that word are predefined by the developer or coder, Java coder, at the time of creating or developing that Java. He prefer some specific keyword for the specific function. That time he defines some specific function for the keyword. When we using that keyword within our code, that function will be done through that keyword. As we know, new keyword is there. By using new keyword, we are able to create an object. Only with the use of new keyword, we are able to create a new object. That time memory allocation will be done within that case. Like that, static is nothing but a keyword. Let's see the function or what are the functions can done by that static keyword. So mainly static keyword is used for a memory allocation or memory management. There is static is a non-access modifier. In our previous video, we are seeing the different types of access modifiers and non-access modifiers. There are access modifiers like public, protected, private, and default. And in another side, there is a non-access modifiers like synchronized, static, final, abstract, transient, volatile, and native. These all are non-access modifiers. That means we are using within their code and without the boundary. So after that we are going toward the next parameter, that is where we are sorry, where we are able to use where we are using the static keyword within our code. Okay, so we are using static keyword with a different type, with a different manner. We are able to use static keyword with the variables, with the method, with the block, and with the inner classes. We can describe all this briefly one by one. So firstly, we are using a static keyword with the variables. That is, underlying point is that we are able to use static keyword only with that variable which are within the class but outside the method. Let's suppose there is a one class, that is a test class. I am creating one test class, and within that test class I am creating a one variable, that is int num is equal to 10. And also I am creating a one method within that class, that is, let's suppose void test, and there is the method, and within that method I am creating one more variable, that is int num1 is equal to 10. So in this scenario I am able to use static keyword only within that variable which is declared within only before creating that method, or within which is created within directly in a class, that is our num variable, that is int num. We are able to use static keyword before that the variable which is written within the class, like that is static int num is equal to 10, but we are not able to use that static keyword within that on that variable which is declared within the method. So why we are not able to do it? Let's see. As we know, the main purpose of our static keyword is used for memory allocation. When we are creating some variable within that class, that variable will be accessible throughout the class. That means whenever we creating that variable, the memory allocation for that variable is done. We are all know when we creating any variable, that will be allocate that memory within the heap area. So after that, when I am creating any different variable within the my method, that variable should allocate another memory space for the same variable, and that variable not able to access outside that method, or we have to create we have to create object for the calling that method. That time we are able to, that time we are using a we are using to we are creating object for calling that variable. That's why again we are creating object. That means we are using new keyword in this case. Due to that, using new keyword, the memory allocation again done within the code. That means it increase the size of code. It's directly impact on the performance of code. Due to that, we are avoiding to use this. We are avoiding to use static keyword within that method. We are only use that static keyword within the class, not outside, within the class and outside the method. That is the main purpose of using static keyword. After that, we are going to our next point. That is, we are using static keyword with the methods. There are two types of method, that is the static method and non-static method. Let's suppose if in our class I am writing any method without using static keyword, like I am writing a method like a void display method is there, and I have to within that method I am writing some mathematical calculation or some data is there. If I have to fetch that data from that method in another method, that time I have to create the object of that method and I am fetching that data from that method. That time also I have to use the new keyword for the same, and the memory allocation will be again done for the same variable for only fetching the data. That's why again the memory will be consume more space. If we are using static keyword, that time we are not required to create object for the fetching the data, for the calling that data which is written within the method. When we are writing static keyword before the method, that method is called as a static method. Okay. When we are writing the static keyword before the method, that method will be called as a static area. That means that overall area is work as a static area. That means any data which is written within that method, we can directly fetch that data without creating object, because the static method is directly refers to the class. That means within throughout the class we are able to access the data without creating object. That is the purpose of using static keyword with the method. Next one is that static block. We are also able to use block with the static. If we are writing any block with a static, there is a static, and after that I am doing a curly braces, and within that curly braces I am giving some data. That data can be directly accessible or directly execution will be done within the Java. But if you are using version before the 1.6, within only version before 1.6, we are able to directly execute the code which is written within the static block, or we are not need to call that static block by from the main method. That means without using the main method, we are able to fetch that data, or we are able to execute that data without the main class. After the version 1.6, there is a necessary, there is a compulsory, we have to use the main method for fetching the data or for the execution of data. We are we are specifically need a main method, because JVM is identifying firstly main method and then sequentially, as a sequence given in main method, JVM can execute one by one. But before 1.6 version, we can directly execute that data only by the using static block, static keyword before the block that directly print. If I am writing a static block and within that curly braces I am writing the print word, and if there is not any main method, I am giving the run the program, I can directly get the output as a word. That means it execute that code without main method, but it is only possible before the 1.6 version. If you are using version before the 1.6, you can see this case, but after 1.6 there is a necessarily adding the main method. We are not able to achieve or fetching the data or execution of code without the main method. After that, our last but important point is that we are using static keyword with the class, but there is another main topic is that we have to know or underline that point, that is we are only using static keyword within that class, which is class is an inner class. Inner class is nothing but class is created within the class. Class and class mean inner class. Let's suppose there is a one class, that is a test class, and I am creating one more class within that class, that is the demo class. In this scenario, I can only use the static keyword with that demo class only. I am not able to use that static keyword with that test class. That means I am writing that test class, I am writing that demo class as a static demo class. That time that class will be work as a static area. The code written between that demo class is work as a static area, and I am directly calling that method or data which is written within that within that demo class directly without creating any object. That means I am not need to create a new object for the calling or for the fetching that data from this time. That's why the memory allocation will also reduce. If you are not using static, that time we have to create object for the same. Okay. If you directly using static keyword at initial level, that means in our test class, if you are using static keyword, that time it show a error. That time code will not compile, it directly shows us a error. So that is the some little bit discussion about static keyword. Thank you.